Guys, namaste, hello and welcome. This is a little tutorial on Trikonasna or triangle versus Parivrtta Trikonasna or revolving or reversing triangle. Because we have done this, the revolving one, in our sequence the last couple of weeks, and somebody was getting their lefts and rights confused and didn't know what we were doing. So instead of stopping in the middle of that video, we're doing this one so that you can feel the difference between the two or see the difference between the two. So before you do this video, it's good to be warmed up. So a couple of rounds of sun salutations, whatever you do to lengthen and open your hips and hamstrings and things like that. And feel warm in your body. And then for Trikonasana, triangle pose, and the revolving triangle pose, it's useful to understand the base position of the legs and why they're different, and then that helps you to know what you're doing when. So with Trikonasana, the base position of the legs is a really wide stance. So it doesn't matter how wide your legs go, you want them to be as wide as feels comfortable to you. They don't have to be as wide apart as this, they could be more narrow, it's no problem at all. But you're facing the long side of your mat. You've got your legs wide apart with both toes pointing forward, and then we're going to turn out the right foot first. So we've got the right foot pointing towards the narrow end of the mat. Lots of teachers will spend a lot of time talking about where the heel and the back foot should line up. And that really is dependent on your hips. So if you have got a lot of movement in your hips, you might be able to line up your front heel with the instep of your back foot, and you'll find that your hips square to this long edge of the mat. I'd like you to worry less about that than about how it feels in your legs and your feet. So if you soften your knees and feel that your feet are really strongly connected with the ground, and then you feel into your feet, just as you do with Tadasana, with mountain pose, that you're making a strong connection and then lifting from the center of the foot up the legs into the hips. So we draw the knees up towards the hips by engaging the quadriceps. Want the buttocks to be working, want that sense of almost lifting the thigh bones into the hip sockets to really secure them there. And that's going to keep our legs working to support the movement so that it's nice and safe. And then don't worry too much about the position of the hips. If you over square the hips here, it has an impact on the bottom of the spine, the spinal alignment, and also your sacroiliac joint. And for anyone who's had a baby by natural childbirth, and more than one baby, possibly, then that's an area of the body that can be vulnerable. So don't over square the hips, just let them fall where they are, but make the legs really strong and make that secure into the hip socket really strong as well. Arms go out to the side, shoulders move down the back, drawing the shoulders, shoulder blades towards each other a touch. Firm in the belly, we lean over the front leg laterally and then pivot to come into Trikonasana. So you can go into Trikonasana in various ways. You can use a block here to give you, on the inside of your ankle, to give you the effort into the bottom arm so that you can make a twist through the torso. You can go into this posture from the ground, so where you bend the front leg and you're in an extended side angle pose, and then lengthen the legs to come up. And some people like that because you get this nice length of the torso. That works best if you can easily reach the ground, but of course you can use a block always. And in Shivanasana, Shivananda is not a thing. Shivananda, we do a double movement to get in. So here we take the arms wide, reach over the front leg, pivot halfway, and then reach up into the top arm before coming down. That creates a little bit of extra space, a little bit of extra length to get into your Trikonasana pose. With Trikonasana, we're trying not to put a lot of weight into the leg in the bottom via the hand. We want the weight in the legs to be even front and back as well. I should really show you how to come out, shouldn't I? So to come out, turning the top hand, pressing the palm up, lifting up, so creating strength down this outside edge of the body to lift up and come back into your standing pose. And a lot of the time we marry Warrior Two with Trikonasana. So they work well together, they've got the same base position for the feet. And so when you're doing a practice, you're doing Warrior Two and then Trikonasana. That usually goes together quite well. So once we've done that, you can jump or scissor your feet together, whichever feels good. The difference then between Trikonasana and revolving or Parivrtta Trikonasana is where we start. So for a revolving Trikonasana, we start in Warrior One. And so the hips are pointing here to the narrow end of your mat or to the top of your mat. The outside edge of the back foot, is strong, and you might have your back foot pointing out to the side a little, but not turned out as it was in Trikonasana. So it's pointing much more forward. And we come into a revolving triangle by coming into pyramid pose first, and using that same block that we had on the inside of the ankle in the same way, but putting our opposite hand down. So if you've got your right foot forward, you put your left hand down. And then from here, we revolve to look behind us, turning always towards the front leg in a revolving Trikonasana. So that's really the key difference between the two, is that for Trikonasana, the legs are wide. You always face the same direction as your back foot. And in revolving Trikonasana, the legs are scissored, not so wide. It's much easier to do, it's easier to do with them not so wide. And you face towards the same direction as your front foot and twist towards the back, twist towards the front leg. So I hope that is helpful for those of you who've just done the video with me. Twists and Triangles video involves the revolving triangle, which has a twist in it, of course, and hopefully that will clear up some confusion. Fingers crossed. Thank you very much. Namaste to you all, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.